Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, according to the Wall Street Journal, allegedly had a relationship with Sergey Brin's wife. That's the co-founder of Google. The Wall Street Journal stated this according to sources. They say that Musk's brief relationship with Nicole Shanahan last fall caused the co-founder of Google to seek for a divorce earlier this year and put an end to their close friendship. Additionally, it's said that Sergey Brin instructed his financial advisors to sell his individual shares in all of Mr. Musk's businesses. Elon Musk took to Twitter to deny the Wall Street Journal's allegations. He said, "This is total BS. Sergey and I are friends and we're at a party together last night. I've only seen Nicole twice in 3 years, both times with many other people around. Nothing romantic." For more in these headlines, cross over to London where we join Opeoluwa Dapo, CEO of Perth Partners. Opeoluwa, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Starting in China, do you think this $44 billion fund can help its property developers?
Hello, Ritis. Thank you for having me. Yes, the real estate sector needs some liquidity. They need some boost right now because at the moment what we have is demand higher than supply. So we know we're in an inflationary environment and a lot of people have money in their hands. So essentially what really would happen is people are trying to mop up properties. People are trying to get houses. I mean, it's every individual's dream to get a house. Everyone wants to get a property to their name. It's a big investment and objective of most people. So the demand is there. So what's not there is actually the supply of homes. I mean, this obviously is stretching to different countries as well. In the UK right now, the average price of a house is about £250,000. That's basically priced out about maybe 60% of people in England from affording it. It's the same thing that happened in Canada a few months ago, where the Canadian government said, okay, we're not going to sell houses to foreigners. We're just going to try and prioritize people that are Canadian. And they've also given out about $20 billion to the real estate sector to support them. So what China is doing is basically a reflection of what's going on in the real estate market, where people are trying to mop up houses and there's not enough houses. So this money obviously will provide financing, investment, and budgeting for developers. And if developers have access to funds, they'll be able to grow more homes, and obviously people can now buy, which obviously bring down prices.
Great stuff. Russia, this attack on Odessa, what does that do to, I guess, getting grain out of the Black Sea port with this missile attack on Odessa?
Well, this is a matter of breach of agreements, because the idea was to ensure that grains can be exported. I mean, the world is suffering from the cost of wheat right now, and that's because two of the largest exporters from Eastern Europe, that's Russia and Ukraine, are at war, and this war has basically affected the exportation of this. I mean, people can't even ship in this area. So coming together last week to say, okay, yes, we can now ship, and then throwing a missile is basically a breach of agreement, which I think that it has affected the rules of engagement, and people have to come back, stakeholders have to come and look at it and say, I thought we had an agreement, but this is going to affect the cost of wheat, because at the end of the day, we thought that, okay, wheat prices will come down with the deal in place. So we don't know whether Russia wants to keep on to their bargain. But what does this reflect? This reflects Russia's hard stance on not ending the war. This reflects Russia's hard stance on ensuring that the world will suffer as well. For all the sanctions that they have gotten, they want the world to suffer. It's reflecting in their gas policies, in their sale of gas. It's reflecting in the economic war they're trying to provoke. So, I mean, we don't know if Russia is going to allow Ukraine still import wheat, but I mean, this has shown that they don't have any sort of rule of engagement that they're willing to abide by.
In Britain, where you are, can you keep the lights on? What do you make of this plea for supply from Belgium?
Well, we're having issues with, obviously, gas. Russia supplies about 40% of European gas. And you've seen Germany's call to other European nations that please let's try and reduce consumption of electricity ahead of winter, because right now people really are not using their gases. But in the winter, the gas consumption will increase because of heating and all these other factors. So now Britain obviously are struggling to maintain their gas, responsibilities. If you want to go, energy bill rose up astronomically, and is affecting a lot of people, putting a lot of people into poverty. We're looking at cost of living going down. Inflation is about 9.1%. The government is running a cost of living package for 8 million people so that people can keep their lights on. But in countries in Europe, you are seeing countries saying that they're not interested. They are looking for ways to reduce their consumption and also looking for alternatives to the gas that they're getting from Russia. So it's going to be an issue we're going to see in this year. And if Russia does not stop this war and with the sanctions don't come off, we're going to see this problem exacerbate in the next few months.
Very quickly, just about 30 seconds. France to fine shopkeepers for power use. Is that extreme?
Right now we're now in the zone of arbitrary laws and arbitrary policies, because, like I said, you are going to have to, everybody has to reduce the amount of energy they're using in Europe. Everyone's got to use it. So what you put it on an air conditioner and your door is open, because everyone has to maintain the usage of, and these are countries where 24 hours electricity is there. So they have to find a way to go around it. So how are they going to reduce consumption of electricity? But I just feel that this basically is putting a plaster on a gunshot wound. How long do you want to keep finding people from maintaining? I mean, the rhetoric out there should be people should now be more conscious of using electricity. And I'm sure people now obviously regulate how they put on their heaters, people regulate how they put on their air conditioners as well. So that's the goal, to try and bring consumption to a down level and see how they can pan out for winter.
Opeoluwa Dapo Thomas, CEO of Perth Partners, thank you so much for joining us for the headlines. Appreciate your insights.